Let us start with next chapter. Let us start with next chapter, that is theories of international trade. Clear? I repeat, theories of international trade. Now, what is international trade first of all? Before starting with theories of international trade, can someone tell me what is international trade? Is it uh, trading within the country or between multiple countries? What is international trade? Is it trading within the country or between multiple countries? What is it? Between multiple countries. Simple. So when trade happens between multiple countries, it is called what? International trade. So can I write like this? Exchange of goods. Clear? International trade means what? Exchange of goods, services and resources. Clear? Goods, services and resources between countries. Clear? Between countries is called what? Between countries is called as international trade. Let us say, for example, tell me, what does India import mostly? Electronic items, right? India, we have, let us say, two goods. These are the two goods what India has. Clear? Now tell, India will import electronics or export electronics? India will import electronics or export? Simple. India, what it does? So it imports electronics. Clear? India may electronics are imported, right? Now, what will India export? What will India export? Spices. So India imports, clear, India imports electronics. From where? From China, clear, from Japan, from US, etc., etc. And it exports the spices. Exports spices throughout the world. Clear? So in simple words, is India importing something from other country? Yes. Is India exporting something to the other country? Yes. This exchange of goods, services and resources is called as what? Is called as international trade. Clear? Is called as international trade. Now let us understand, when you compare, now tell me, compare international trade, compare international trade with internal trade. Internal trade. Clear? Now let us compare international trade with internal trade and let us see what are the things what international trade has. Tell me, international trade is difficult or easy? International trade is complex or easy? Like it's easy to buy and sell, it's difficult. So can I say it is more complex? It is more complex, right? It is more complex. Why it is more complex? Now tell. Why it is more complex? Now tell. Customers in India and customers outside India are same or different? Customers in India, types of customers in India and types of customers in other countries are same or different? They are different. And leave about India and other country. Let us say if India is dealing with international trade with some 20 countries, in every type of country, customer type will be same or different? In every type of country, type of customers will be same or different? Different. Now let us say in India, customers are price conscious or quality conscious? In India, customers are price conscious or quality conscious? Price conscious. Let us say in US, people are price conscious or quality conscious? Quality conscious. In Japan, people are price, quality or technology conscious? So they are technology conscious. So every type of country there will be different types of customers. Second thing, now tell, currencies are same in all the countries or different? Like India may we use rupees, China may they use Chinese yuan, Japan may they use yen, US may use US dollars, Australia may Australian dollars, different. So can I say heterogeneity, heterogeneity of customers and currencies? Clear? Heterogeneity of what? Customers and currencies. Heterogeneity means different types of customers and currencies. Next, tell me, like the procedure to do trade within India and the procedure to do trade outside India, is it same or different? The procedure will remain same or different? Different. So documentation will be very heavy in internal trade or international trade. Documentation will be very heavy where? International trade. So can I say elaborate documentation? Elaborate documentation is required. Like heavy documentation is required. So this license, that license, this paper, that paper, lot of headache will be there in international trade. Clear? Now tell me, multiple restrictions will be there. Will it be in internal trade or external trade? Multiple restrictions. Multiple restrictions will be in internal trade or external trade? External trade. Multiple restrictions are involved. Clear? Multiple restrictions are involved. Now tell, multiple restrictions are involved with reference to what? I told you multiple restrictions are there. Let us see what are those multiple types of restrictions. So taxes. Taxes in India are different, taxes outside India are different. If you are trading within the country, tax will be of different type. When you are trading with outside countries, tax will be of different type, right? Next, duties. I hope we have studied duties, right? Import duties, export duties. Clear? Those duties are there. Then quota. Quotas are there means there will be certain restrictions. Quotas can be of two type. Either they will allow me to import only to a certain quantity, or beyond the quantity if I import, they will keep imposing tax. Higher the quantity, higher the tax. We have seen, right? Next, it can be in the form of issues in shipping, issues in shipping and transportation of goods, transport of goods. Now let us say, for example, you order something from Flipkart or Amazon. Tell me maximum within how many days your product will be received by you, either Amazon or Flipkart. 7 to 10 days. Now let us say, let us assume that, have you heard about Alibaba.com, Club Factory? You try to order products from Alibaba Club Factory, you think you will receive in 10 days, 11 days only, or it will take at least 1 month. 1 month at least it will take for product to reach. Why? Because of shipping. It's not as easy to transport the goods from China to India. It's not that easy. Lot of restrictions are there. Lot of issues will be there. Clear? Next, trade barriers. Trade barriers we have seen, right? Barriers to trade. Recent chapters where we have seen what are the trade barriers. Next. So these are some reasons. These are some reasons. One more thing we can see. These are some reasons due to which we can say there are multiple restrictions imposed. One more thing we can say, difference in legal systems. Different legal systems. Different legal systems. Now let us say the laws applicable in India and the laws applicable outside India are obviously different. I need to not only follow my law, I also need to follow the other country's laws also. So these are, now see, so when we compare international trade with domestic or internal trade, international trade is more difficult to do. International trade may lot different types of customers will be involved, multiple types of currencies will be involved, lot of documentation has to be done, multiple restrictions will be there in the form of taxes, duties, quotas, shipping, trade barriers, and moreover multiple types or different types of legal systems or laws will be applicable. But still international trade is done or not? But still international trade is done or not? Yes, it is done. Yes, it is done. Clear? Yes, still international trade is done. Clear? No. Tell me according to you, international trade has advantage or not? Is there any advantage of international trade? Okay. Is there, how many of you support international trade? Just say one. Those who support international trade, say one. Those who don't support international trade, say two. If you don't support international trade, just say number two. Okay, everyone supports domestic. Now tell, I am asking only a group of 15 to 20 students, or maybe 200, 300 students, 400, 500 students. But after that, up to 500 students, let us say all of you are saying one. But if, are there people who do not support international trade or not? Like throughout the world, all people support international trade? No, there are some people who also are against international trade, right? There will be people who will be against international trade. So now let us see Now let us see why people are saying that international trade should be done. Then we will also see why people are saying that international trade should not be done. So let us see from both their point of view also. Clear? Now let us see arguments. Clear? Arguments in support. Arguments in support of international trade. Arguments in support of international trade means, now you told that you want international trade. All the students in the class, you have told that you want international trade. But you should not only tell, you should also tell the reasons why you feel international trade is good. Simple. You are telling that international trade has to be done. Now you should also tell why international trade has to be done. Clear? Let us see some reasons why international trade is beneficial to all the countries. Now, reason number one, contributes to economic growth. Contributes to economic growth. Clear? Economic growth. They are saying that international trade will contribute to economic growth, means it will help my economy grow. It will help my economy grow. It will help my economy grow. Let us say for example, in India only some products are available. Let us say for example, in India, tell me some mobile phones which are manufactured in India. Let us say for example Lava. Let us say Lava, Micromax, Intex. Now assume if only these three people are manufacturing mobile phones in India and there is no international trade. There is no international trade. India is neither importing nor exporting. Only three companies are manufacturing mobile phones in India. Employment will be very high or employment in this sector will be very less. Employment in this sector will be very less. Why? Only three companies, right? Only three companies. But today, sir, MI, clear, MI is there, Apple is there, Oppo is there, Vivo is there, and what else? What are the other companies? Samsung, etc. Now, as of today, there are multiple countries which are coming to India, manufacturing the goods in India. When international trade happens, other countries are coming to India. They are manufacturing goods in India. From India, not only they are selling in India, they are also exporting from India. Now tell, will it help our Indian economy grow or not? If international trade is there, foreigners are coming to India, they are manufacturing the goods in India, will it providing employment in India, generating employment in India, will it go to economic growth or not? Will India's GDP increase or not? When production is happening in India, will it increase into economic growth or not? Yes, it will obviously increase our economic growth. Number two, competition from foreign companies. Competition from foreign companies enhances quality. Now let us say for example, tell me some Indian company biscuits. Let us say for example, tell me some Indian company chocolate name, chocolate which is manufactured in India. Amul chocolate, right? Amul chocolate. Amul chocolate is manufactured in India. Now let us assume that only Amul is there in India. There is no international trade and there is only Amul who is manufacturing chocolate in India. You think quality and taste will be good? Or whatever they sell will eat, right? Because there is only one chocolate available in India. Only Amul is manufacturing India. Obviously, whatever they are giving, that only we have to eat. Taste might be good, taste might not be good, quality might be good, quality might not be good. But now what happens? So Cadbury Dairy Milk is coming to India, Nestle is coming to India, Ferrero Rocher is coming to India. Lot of foreign companies are coming to India and selling chocolates here. In that case, if Indian companies do not match up with the quality and taste with foreign companies, will they be able to survive? Will they be able to survive? No, right? So when we are receiving competition from foreign countries, domestic products ka quality will increase or not? Yes, obviously it will increase. Will they be able to compete with foreign companies? Yes. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be no quality, no taste. Clear? Number 3. Clear? Number 3. Decreases domestic monopoly. Domestic monopoly. Decreases domestic monopoly. Now tell me, monopoly means what? What do we mean by monopoly? Can someone tell me what do we mean by monopoly? Very important chapter this is. What do we mean by monopoly? Monopoly means only one person capturing the market or multiple people capturing the market. So only only one person capturing the market. Clear? Only one person capturing the market. Now tell me, let us say for example, Tata. Clear? Tata. Tata manufactures cars in India or not? Tata manufactures cars in India or not? Tata manufactures cars in India, right? Manufacture car where? India. Clear? Now, tell me any other car manufacturer, Mahindra. Clear? Mahindra also manufactures cars in India, right? Mahindra also manufactures cars in India. Now, let us assume that these two people are manufacturing the cars in India. One is Tata, the second one is Mahindra. Earlier, only Tata, let us say only Tata is there. Only Tata is there. And only Mahindra is there. It's that like a situation of monopoly or duopoly or not. Only Tata and only Mahindra. Let us assume that it's only Tata, monopoly. It's only Mahindra, monopoly. Now there is duopoly. Two people are capturing the complete market now. Now what will happen? Price of cars will increase or decrease. If there is monopoly, if there is duopoly, prices of cars in India will increase or not. It will increase to such an extent that it will become like a luxury. But today, you think only these two people are selling cars in India? Sir, there is Maruti, there is Kia Motors, there is MG Hector, there is BMW, there is Mercedes, clear, there is Range Rover. There are so many types of cars which are available in India today. Now, since what is happening, multiple people are coming to India through international trade, the prices of car is increasing or decreasing. The prices of car is remaining constant. Either it will little increase will be there or little decrease will be there. It is neither increasing to very large extent nor it is decreasing to very large extent. Clear? That is the advantage. One more advantage of having like removing monopoly or duopoly. Next, number 4. Clear? Number 4. Number 4. Tell me, when a foreign company comes to India, will it bring new technology or not? When a foreign company comes to India, will it bring new technology or not? Now, can Indian domestic companies learn from them something? Can they learn something from a foreign technology or not? So can I say it helps in increasing manufacturing capabilities? Helps in increasing domestic manufacturing capabilities, right? Helps in increasing what? Domestic manufacturing capabilities. It means what? What do we mean by domestic? Now let us say for example, a person from China is coming. You think China will manufacture something using laborers or they will manufacture something using technology? Technology. China is known for technology. Japan is known for technology. US is known for technology. Clear? All the softwares. Now tell me which country is like very popular for software? US. You company from US is coming to India. Obviously, it will bring technology. By Indian companies, by seeing the US companies using technology in India, they will also learn new things. They will also try to implement new technology. Then what happens? Domestic manufacturers will also try to like use the technology what other people are using in other countries. Clear? It helps increasing the domestic manufacturing capabilities in that way. Next, then we have sourcing new materials. Sourcing new materials. Clear? Sourcing new materials, not sourcing new material. Basically, we can say access to new markets and materials. Access to new markets and materials. Clear? Access to new markets and materials. What do we mean by this? Let us assume that as of today there is no international trade. Let us say in 1990, if I wanted to eat a burger, what was the burger available in a small bakery? Whatever you want to do, you used to eat. You can eat. But let us say today, if I want to eat burger or pizza, McDonald's is available. Clear? Not Donald Trump. McDonald's is available. KFC is available. Burger King is available. Clear? Burger King, McDonald's, KFC is available. Subway is available. Clear? If I want to eat pizza, Domino's is available. And Pizza Hut is available. Sir, now see, so many countries, so many companies from foreign countries are coming to India. Now tell, am I having an access to new market and new things in India? What is burger, what is pizza? You think it's an Indian food? No, right? It's a Western culture. That Western culture food is now available in India. I'm able to access new markets. I'm able to access new things in India. That is how, only because of international trade. Let us say if international trade is not there, you think McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Subway, Domino's, Pizza Hut will be able to sell something in India? No, right? They will be zero. You need to eat burger in a normal bakery. You need to eat pizza in a normal bakery. Whatever kachra they give, you have to eat. Simple, right? Next, number, then we have number 6. Clear? Number 6. Sourcing inputs, or you can say components, inputs and components internationally at competitive prices. Sir, competitive price means what? Best price or worst price? Competitive price means what? Best price or worst price? Competitive means best price. Top quality materials at best price. Now let us say for example Micromax. Micromax is Indian company or not? As of now we don't even know whether it is manufacturing something or not. It's an Indian company. You think Micromax was manufacturing mobile phones in India? No, it was only assembling mobile phones in India. What it used to do, let us say if Micromax wanted to manufacture the raw materials for mobile phone in India, cost will increase or not? If Micromax has to manufacture or buy the components of mobile phones from India, will it be costly or not? Yes, it will be very costly. In that case, its price will be equal to Samsung and iPhone price. Not exactly equal, it may be high, like that only, that price. But what did Micromax do? What is Micromax doing? It will bring some parts from China. Clear? It will bring the parts from China at cheap price, come to India, assemble in India, put Micromax stamp and sell it to you. Now tell, is Micromax able to import, is Micromax able to buy inputs, that is raw materials or components of a mobile phone at a cheap price from China and sell that product in India at a better price than compared to others? Yes, sir. Same features what other companies are providing, Micromax is also providing, but at a competitive price. Why? Because rather than making the components in India at a higher price, it is importing the components from China at a cheap price. This is possible only when international trade is there, right? When international trade is not there, this is practically impossible. Clear? Next, point number 7. Next, exports simulate. Clear? Exports simulate economic growth. Exports simulate economic growth by creating jobs. Clear? By creating jobs, and reduces what? And results in reduced poverty. Reducing what? Reducing poverty. Now tell, let us say for example, tell me India is good at what? India is good at what? India is good at spices, right? India is good at spices. India is good at cotton. India is good at khadi. Now can India, now what is not normally what happens? India is producing for itself. Can India also produce goods in which it is good at for other countries? Can India produce goods which it is good at for other countries? When now Indian consumption, let us say, is 100. Indian consumption, let us say, is 100. What will I do? I will manufacture or produce 150. 100 I will use in India, extra 50 units what I'm manufacturing or producing, can I sell it to other countries? When I'm able to do international trade, when I'm able to sell outside the country also, tell me production is increasing by 50% or not? When production is increasing by 50%, economic growth will also increase by 50%, not exactly 50%. Economic growth will also increase. In that case, what happens? Since production increases, jobs also increases, poverty will reduce. And when jobs are increasing, income of a person is increasing, poverty is reducing, automatically economic growth will also increase. This is one more advantage of having what? One more reason for having international trade. Clear? Next two. Superior products. Superior products. Superior products are available. Superior products are available. Now tell me, Indian products, tell me only Indian products are available. Tell me Indian products, to be very frank, Indian products are superior or foreign products are superior? You tell me. Means better. Which products are better? Will you buy Indian products or foreign products? Foreign products only. Mobile phones, you will buy foreign products. Electronics, completely foreign only. Complete foreign. Tell me which Indian product you prefer. Which Indian product you prefer? Very rarely we see people preferring Patanjali. Do you prefer Patanjali? See, very rarely we see people preferring Indian products. Majority of the people prefer foreign products because they are superior, means they are better in quality and they are better in price than compared to Indian products. This is one more reason. Strength, or you can say bond, increases bond between countries. Between countries. Now tell, if I tell US that I will not give anything to you, I will not buy anything from your country. If India tells to US, if India tells to Japan, if India tells to Afghanistan that we don't want to do trade with you, we neither want to buy something from you nor we want to sell something to you. In that case, India will have a good relationship or a bad relationship with other countries. Bad relationship. Tomorrow, if something happens in India, like floods are there, earthquake are there, some money is required, some food is required, you think other countries will support us? No, right? So if we do international trade, if international trade happens, then what happens? Bond between the countries increases. Means the relationship between countries increases and the other country will help us, support us at the time of requirement. Now let us say if India and Pakistan go on a war, Japan will support us, Afghanistan will support us, US maybe support us, Russia maybe support us. Why? We are having good relationship with these countries. If we do not trade, there will be no relationship and obviously they will not support us. Next, human resource development. Human resource development. Human resource development. Earlier to get a job, you need to have a degree. You need to have a degree. Clear. Plus lot of qualifications were required. Now, when call centers have come, sir, even a 10th pass fellow is getting a job nowadays in India. Even an intermediate clear person is getting a job in India in a call center. So call centers, what they are doing, from foreign companies are coming to India, they are giving jobs in India. Is it helping a human being to develop in a country? Yes. Next, number 11. Gains, gains by disposal of surplus output. Surplus output, clear, surplus output in other countries. In other countries. This I have already explained you. I am producing more than required. India may only 100 units are there, but I am manufacturing or producing 150 units. If international trade is not there, that 50 units what I am producing extra will be just waste of time, money and energy. But when international trade is there, since I'm producing 50 goods extra, 50 units extra, what will I do? This extra 50 units, I will dump in other countries. Just like China is dumping electronics in India, India can also dump these products in some other countries. At least some money I will receive, right? Some money I will receive. That is called one more advantage of what? One more advantage of international trade. Clear? Next. I hope everyone understood. So what these are the arguments in support of what? Arguments in support of international trade. Those people who are telling that international trade is beneficial, they are giving these reasons. Like, okay, these are some of the reasons because of which international trade is better. Now let us see from negative point of view, means arguments against international trade. Now let us see arguments against international trade. Why people are telling that international trade is not good? Arguments against international trade. Arguments against international trade. Argument against international trade. Now, why people feel that? Some people, as I already told you, will feel that international trade is not good for a country. But why it is not good for a country? There are some reasons. You are telling that international trade is not good, but because of what reasons you are telling it is not good? Let us see that. Reason number one. Reason number one. It is always not equally beneficial to all nations. Clear? To all nations. Now let us say, for example, India and China. The international trade which is happening between India and China, tell me who is more beneficial? When international trade is happening between India and China in electronics, tell me who is more beneficial? China. Who is less beneficial? India. In software department, let us say in software, India is more beneficial or US? India is more beneficial or US? Sir, US is more beneficial. Clear? So in simple way, both the countries which are dealing will not have equal advantage. One country is having a very good advantage, second country is having an advantage. I'm not saying disadvantage. It's having an advantage, but the advantage is lesser than compared to the other country. So can I say exporting country will have more advantage than compared to importing country? Correct or not? Exporting country will have more advantage than compared to importing country. That is what it's trying to say. Clear? Point number two. Developed nations might exploit developing nations. Now tell, can India exploit US in anything? Can India exploit US? Impossible. Can US exploit India? Yes. Now let us say, can India exploit China? Yes, it can exploit it. Now let us say India can easily ban India over the next 4 or 5 years. Let us say if you start supporting Indian products, India can ban majority of the products from China. Even today, what is India doing? Is India retaliating to Chinese Chingli people by banning their apps or not? India is banning the apps. When we are banning the app, you will think, "Arey, what will happen if you just ban PUBG? What will happen if you ban one some small app? Share it. What will happen if you ban these things?" Sir, banning one app, you think how much revenue TikTok is losing every day in India? Sir, 90% of revenue of TikTok comes from Indian people only. Majority of the people playing PUBG throughout the world in mobile phone are from India only. They are losing majority of their income. More than 50% of their income they are losing. So is India able to exploit? See, when one company is suffering, means complete country will suffer or not? If PUBG is losing, let us say 70% of its income, obviously government will also suffer in the form of less taxes. Will this company PUBG put pressure on China or not? It's a very big company. It's not at a very small Chotu company. It's a very big company. It can put pressure on its government. Again, government will face problems. So developed nations in some cases might exploit developing nation, or one developing nation can exploit the other developing nation. Exploitation can easily happen. Same thing what India is doing to China. You think can India do it to US? Can India ban Microsoft? Impossible. Impossible. The day even it thinks also US will be completely against India. And now again, majority of the Chinese products like Honor phones, MI phones, they are banned in US. Have you heard about it? They are banned in US. And majority of the Chinese phones which are selling in US are without Google apps. Without Google apps only they are selling Huawei phones. That is called the power of a developed country. Clear? Criticized on focus of exports. Clear? Exports. Now tell. Majority of the whenever I talk about international trade, whenever we talk about international trade, in the last chapter also, instruments of trade policy may I told you the same thing. Now also I'm telling you the same thing. Majority of the companies wants to export more or import more. Every country wants to export more or import more. They want to export more. Sir, when every country is focusing on exports, then who will focus on imports? If you only focus on exports, your focus is majorly on exports and very less imports you want to do to become a developed country, is it practically possible? Every country focusing on export, it's practically not possible. You should have a balance between exports and imports. Next to excess use of natural resources. Now foreign countries are coming to India, they are using India's natural resources. Once the natural resources of India are exhausted, you think they will support India? Once the natural resources availability in India reduces, you think they will support? No, they will go back. It means they are coming to our country, they are using our natural resources, they are extracting our natural resources and taking the benefit of them. Later on, once the natural resources reduces, obviously they will not support us, they'll go back. Dependence of underprivileged countries on developed countries is risky. Now let us say India is not underdeveloped, India is developing. Let us take an example of developing country only. India is completely dependent on China for electronics or not? China, Japan. Simple. 90 majority of the products, sorry, more than 90% of the electronics which is available in India, made in China, made in China, made in China, made in China. Now, the day India stops international trade, let us say for example on 1st January 2021, India and China go on a war. Will there be any import of electronics from China? Leave about war, just because of coronavirus, electronic industry in India is having a very bad time. Why? They are unable to import. Since they are unable to import, whatever stock was available with them, were they selling at higher prices or lesser prices? Will they selling during corona situation, during initial phases of corona, March, April, May, June, when it was completely banned, like banned in the sense it was completely restricted international trade, very high prices they were selling. Now over a period of time, let us assume that as of today, even today, let us say government is not allowing goods and people to come to India. Will they be able to come? Will they be able to bring products to India? No. At that point of time, is India having that much resources to produce those goods in India? No. So what happens? We are over dependent, not even dependent, we are over dependent. Just India is a developing country, still it is dependent on other countries. Now assume what is the situation of Africa. Many countries in Africa are underprivileged, right? What will happen? They are completely gone. They can't survive. International trade, clear, international trade may breed rivalry, clear, rivalry on account of severe competition. Severe competition. Are leave about everything. Will in now let us see if India is buying something from US rather than from Japan. If Japan wants to sell something to India, but India is not buying from them, India wants to buy from US only. India and US ka relationship will grow. But you think the relationship of India and Japan will grow or it will get affected or not? Will it get affected or not? Yes, it will get affected. And again in India, domestic producers and the foreign producers which are coming to India will have a good relationship or not? Foreign companies coming to India and producing, and Indian companies producing in India, you think they'll have a good relationship? No, they will have a competitive relationship. Because of that competition, Because of that competition, rivalry may increase. And when rivalry increases, you will go to any extent to survive and eliminate the other people from market. Correct or not? Yes, it's obviously correct. You will go to any extent. Clear? Next, welfare of people might be ignored, clear, welfare of people might be ignored because, clear, to earn profits. Now tell, what is the only objective of international trade? Welfare of people or to earn money? Simple, earn money. Foreign companies are coming to India. Like McDonald's, KFC, IKEA is there, Microsoft is there. Now tell, how many companies will take care of their employees? People. They are least bothered about people, right? They are only bothered about what? Profits. If we can earn profits in a particular country, we will come. Otherwise, we will not come. Let people go to hell. We are least bothered about people. People may suffer, but we want what? Profits. Simple. If profits are there, we will come. If profits are not there, we will not come. Now tell. Again, this is a disadvantage or not? Next, change in consumer behavior. Change in consumer behavior. Now, simple example I'll give you. Earlier, let us say, for example, when I was a kid, go back 30 years back, when I was a kid, that point of time, what we used to eat, everything healthy food, like homemade food used to eat. Going out was like luxury, right? Going out and eating was a luxury. Very rarely we used to go out. Maybe once in a month we used to go out to eat. Very healthy food, very healthy diet we used to follow. Today's generation, including me also, today's generation, you, me and all, today, are we focusing on Indian food or are we focusing on Western food? We are completely on Western food. Fried rice, Manchuria, Paneer 65, Chicken 65. You want what is that? Momos, pizza, burger, Frankies, rolls. All these things are what? All these things are Western. Now till West, we are completely into Western behavior. We have shifted our pattern from Indian behavior to Western behavior. Now till today, health is what? Every 2-3 days, some headache will happen to you. Your immunity is strong or weak. Now tell, your parents will fall sick every week or every 10 days, just like you and me. Our parents will fall sick every 10 days, every 1 week. Sir, head is aching, nose is running. They will not fall sick, right? Very rarely they'll fall sick. Why? Your parents, grandparents, they'll not fall sick. But we will fall sick regularly. Why? The time what they have seen and the time what we have seen is different. Their consumer behavior that time was different. Consumer behavior today was different. And moreover, you see, products which are available that time were more pure. Today, chemicals are available. Today, majority of the products are having chemicals. You think chips were available 30 years back? The chips, Cheetos. You think these were available 30 years back? No, right? These were not available. Now only they start becoming available. These burgers, pizzas, and all were there 30, 40 years back in India. No. So what happens when international trade happens? Consumer behavior changes. When consumer behavior and consumption pattern changes, lifestyle also changes, which I am not saying which will have, which might have a bad impact on human life. Correct or not? Clear? So these are the things which are against what? Which are against international trade. So till now what we have seen, sir, we have seen what is international trade. Clear? We have seen what is international trade. We have seen what are the reasons why international trade can be beneficial to you. And we have also seen some reasons why international trade can be not beneficial to you, can be harmful to you. Now, anyone has any doubts as of now? Anyone has any doubts as of now? Anyone wants to ask anything? Okay. So now let us see very important, and these are technical topics also. If you miss the class, you won't be able to understand on your own. And that concept what we are going to start now is theories of international trade. Theories of international trade. International trade. Till now we have seen only what is international trade, and what are the advantages and disadvantages in indirect way relating to international trade. Now let us see theories of international trade. Let us come back. According to you, according to you, international trade can be different. According to me, the meaning of international trade can be different. I repeat, according to you, theories of international trade can be different. According to me, international trade can be different. According to you, only export should be there. According to me, exports and imports should be there. According to you, every country should export and import. According to me, country should only export, not import. Or according to me, country should only import, not export. There are multiple views, right? Every person has their own view. Every person has their own view. Now let us see the views of some people. What according to them is international trade. Now, first one is very, very, very important. Listen very carefully. Mercantilist. Mercantilist theory of international trade. International trade. Listen very, very, very carefully. Mercantilist theory of international trade. Tell me, who is the father of economics? Who is the father of economics? Who is considered as the father of economics? One person gave right answer, one person gave wrong answer. Let us see who is the father of economics. I'll show here that person's photo also. Let us see. Whose name you are seeing here? Whose name you are able to see here? Whose name? I just type father economics. Everywhere you are able to see only one person's face. Adam, not Adam Smith, sorry, Adam Smith. You are able to see Adam Smith. So who is the father of economics according to Google? Adam Smith. Now, before Adam Smith, the meaning of Adam Smith gave, according to Adam Smith, he has given some definition and meaning of international trade. But before Adam Smith also, there were some economists. There were some economists before Adam Smith also. So can I say them grandfathers of grandfathers, not father, grandfathers of economics? They are not actually grandfathers economics. I am telling you to make you explain. Before father of economics, some people might have given their own meaning of international trade. Let us see grandfathers of international trade. Don't write in exam. Don't write in exam grandfathers bolke. Don't write it. It is just to explain you. Now let us see. So what is mercantilist theory? Was it given after Adam Smith ka theory or before Adam Smith theory? It was given before Adam Smith theory. Clear? It was given before Adam Smith theory. Now according to mercantilist theory, what should happen? According to mercantilist theory, point number one, first thing, nations, clear, nations power, nations power and wealth increases, clear, when according to mercantilist theory, the wealth and power of a nation increases when 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 exports are there and there are no imports. Simple. So mercantilist people, mercantilist theory, I'm not telling mercantilist is the name of a person. I repeat, mercantilist is not the name of a person. It is the people, what people used to think about international trade before Adam Smith gave his definition. Clear? I repeat, mercantilist theory is nothing but what people used to think about international trade before Adam Smith gave a proper definition of international trade. So according to mercantilist, there might be 1%, 2%, 3%, or 100 economists at that point of time. So according to so many people before Adam Smith, according to mercantilist theory, there should be exports or not. There should be exports or not. Yes, they should be exports. But according to them, imports should be zero. It means they are clearly telling that countries should only export, not import anything. I repeat, they are clearly telling that my power, my country's power, my country's wealth, my country's power and my country's wealth will increase only when there are exports and no imports. It means country should only export. There should be no incoming. There should be no import. Now tell, is it practically possible in today's situation, in today's generation? Is this situation practically possible? No. That is why Adam Smith has given, some other people have also given their own versions of theory that we'll see later on. So according to mercantilist theory, what happens? Nations' power and wealth will increase only when exports are there and there are no imports. Clear? And now, after exporting, clear? After exporting, what? Export and collect precious metals. Precious metals. Clear? What is this person trying to tell? What are the mercantilist people trying to say? Only export. And after exporting, collect what? Collect only precious materials. Collect only which materials? Precious materials. What do we mean by precious materials? I hope you know. If you don't know, let us see. Google will tell us what is precious materials. In images, we'll see. Precious materials. Clear? Precious metals. Precious metals. See here. Are you able to see gold, silver? Clear? Gold, silver. You are able to see, right? Bronze. These are all nothing but precious metal. Diamonds. These are all precious metals. Now tell. I am exporting to you. I am not importing anything. I am exporting from you, and all your precious metals I am taking. I repeat, I am exporting goods to you, and all your precious metals, whatever you have, I am collecting from you and keeping in my country. Now tell me, my country will be at an advantage or not? Will my country be at 100% advantage? Your country will be at 100% disadvantage. Simple. I am at a complete advantage. You are at a complete disadvantage. 100% advantage to me, 100% disadvantage to you. Now tell, will it set off or not? 100% advantage, 100% disadvantage. Will it become 0? Will it become 0? Yes, I am plus 100. You are at a minus 100 situation. So it will become 0 or not? So that is why these people used to tell, these people used to tell that international trade should be a zero-sum game. So that is why mercantilists told us that, mercantilists clearly told us that, what should be international trade? International trade should be what? Should be a zero-sum game. Zero-sum game. Which game, sir? Zero-sum game. Zero-sum game means complete advantage to one country, complete advantage to one country, and complete disadvantage to another country. Correct or not? Another country. Complete advantage to me and completely disadvantage to you. Why? I am only exporting, you're only, now tell, for it tells that a country should only export, no imports. When there are only exports and no imports, and I'm collecting all the precious metals from you, your diamonds I'm taking, your gold I'm taking, your silver I'm taking, your country will become weak, my country will become strong. Correct or not? No. It says, or either there should be no imports or minimize the imports. Even if you want to import also something, assume that something you don't have in your country, you want to import also, minimize imports. Minimize imports. If you are unable to eliminate imports, minimize imports. How to minimize imports? Increase what? Increase tariff. Increase what? Tariff. Remember prohibitive tariff. I will increase the tariff to such an extent that people will think before exporting to my country. When people from other countries are thinking, people, they might export, they might not export. From them it is export. For me it is what? Import. For me it is what? Import. Clear? So can I say, finally can I say that under this theory, clear? Under this theory, one country's gain is equal to another country's loss, is equal to another country's loss. Another country loss, is it equal to another country loss? So that net gain, net change, net change in wealth is zero. Clear? One country is at a benefit, one country is at a loss. Your benefit and my loss are equal. When your benefit and my loss become equal, what will it give me? When your benefit and my loss is equal, it means what? In simple words, it means that it is a zero sum game. Clear? I hope you understood. So mercantilist, I repeat, mercantilist theory of international trade was given when? After Adam Smith or before Adam Smith? Before Adam Smith. Who has given? No one knows. It is mercantilist theory. During that time, before Adam Smith, according to those people, what used to happen? A country's power and wealth will increase only when exports are there. There are no imports. Or you can say exports are very high quantity and minimize the imports if you are unable to eliminate. How to minimize the imports? Increase the tariff to such an extent that people will stop thinking of exporting to you. When people are not exporting, you are not getting anything, you are not importing. Then what happens? And then once you export, take what from them? All their precious materials, collect from them. Once you collect all their precious materials, your country will become strong, their country will become weak. Your country will have a complete advantage, their country will have a complete disadvantage. Sir, their complete disadvantage, your complete advantage will net off and it will become what type of game, sir? Zero sum game. It will become which game, sir? It will become a zero sum game. Here it will become a zero sum game. Now tell, this type of situation, is it practically possible or impossible? This type of situation is practically possible or impossible? So this is practically impossible. This is practically impossible. Now that is why since it is practically impossible, after mercantilist, who told that this type of situation is not possible? I will give my own theory. Who told that? Who told after mercantilist theory that this situation is not possible? I will give you a niche situation which will be an advantage. The disadvantage of mercantilist theory was covered by whom? Adam Smith. By covered by whom? Adam Smith. Clear? Adam Smith. Now let us see what Adam Smith has told in his theory. The theory given by Adam Smith was theory of absolute advantage. Second theory was theory of absolute advantage. Absolute advantage. Clear? Theory of absolute advantage. Theory of absolute advantage. Now, who gave this theory? This theory was given by whom? This theory was given to us by whom? Simple, Adam Smith. This theory was given by whom? Adam Smith. Clear? This theory was given by Adam Smith. Now, and Adam Smith told, according to Adam Smith, tell me, as per Adam Smith, is international trade a zero-sum game or not a zero-sum game? He also told that it is a zero-sum game. He told that it is not a zero-sum game. Simple. Given by Adam Smith. According to him, international trade is what? Is not a what game? Is not a zero sum game. Is not a zero sum game. He told that it is not a zero sum game. But then what did he tell? According to him, it is not a zero sum game. Then what according to him it is? Let us take one small example. I will take output per hour. Small diagram I will draw. Clear? Output per hour. Here we are taking output per hour. Now here I will write commodity. Here I will write country A. Clear? And here we will write country B. So there are two countries. Now country A, there is wheat. Country A is having wheat and country B is producing cloth. Clear? Now country A, I repeat, country A is able to produce 6 units. I repeat, country A is able to produce 6 units of wheat in how many hours? 1 hour. And country B is able to produce 1 unit of wheat in 1 hour. Clear? Now, country B is able to produce 4 units of cloth in 1 hour. And country B is able to produce 5 units of cloth in 1 hour. Clear? So we have taken what? We have taken output per hour. There are two commodities, two countries. Tell me, wheat mein who is having an advantage? Who is having a clear advantage in producing wheat? A. So can I say country A is having an advantage? Is it having a clear advantage? Is it having an absolute advantage? Now tell, country A is having an absolute advantage over country B in production of what? In production of wheat. Country B is having a complete disadvantage, absolute disadvantage in producing wheat in its country. Correct or not? Are both the countries having a disadvantage? No. Both the countries having an advantage in wheat? No. One country is having an advantage, one is having a disadvantage. Tell me, cloth, who is able to have an absolute advantage in production of cloth? Country B. Now tell. There are two products. Tell me, in both the products, is country A having a complete advantage? Is country B having a complete advantage in both the products? No. Now tell. Country A is having an absolute advantage in production of wheat than compared to country B. And country B is having an absolute advantage in producing cloth than compared to country A. Now tell. Are both the countries having an absolute advantage? Are both the countries having an absolute advantage? But what is this absolute advantage in terms of? In terms of cost. Now tell. I am able to produce 6 units of wheat in 1 hour. Cost will increase or decrease? When production increases, cost will increase or decrease? Output per unit increases, cost decreases. But country B mein 1 hour mein I am able to produce only 1 unit. Cost will be high or less? Cost will be high. So who is able to manufacture wheat at a lesser price, lesser cost and higher quantity? Country A. So can I say country A, can I say country A will export, can I say country A will export wheat to country B? A is having a complete advantage in wheat. So can I say country A will export to country B wheat? Now, what is country B producing in higher quantity at a lesser price? Cloth, right? So can I say country B, is able to export the same thing to country A? So can I write like this? Can I write like this? In summary, let us say small summary I will write. Now, let us say country A. Country A. Whatever I have explained, I will write something like this. Clear? There is lot of explanation pending. This is just a simple example. Country A. Now, country A, absolute advantage where? Absolute advantage. Absolute advantage is where? Where is it having absolute advantage? Wheat. And it is having what? Absolute disadvantage. Absolute disadvantage in which case? In cloth. Clear? Absolute disadvantage where? In cloth. So can I say like this? Can I say like this? Better country A export wheat to country B and import what? Import cloth from country B. Correct or not? Why should I waste? See, why should I waste my time in manufacturing cloth when I know that? Why should I waste my time in producing cloth when I know that I am less efficient than country B? Why should I waste my time? Can I rather than manufacturing or producing cloth in my country, can I buy the cloth from your country, that is country B, at a lesser price? If I'm manufacturing in my country cloth, cost is higher. So can I stop or reduce the production of cloth in my country and increase the production of wheat in my country? Simple question. If I lower the production of cloth or if I stop the production of cloth, can I import it from country B? Yes. And can I use the same time to produce wheat in my country or not? 1 hour, let us say 1 hour, if I stop 1 hour में, if I stop manufacturing cloth, if I stop manufacturing cloth, how many hours will I save? 1 hour, correct or not? If I stop manufacturing cloth, how many hours I will save? 1 hour. That 1 hour, can I use it to manufacture 6 more units of cloth, wheat, which I can produce at a lesser price? Correct or not? Simple question I'm asking. If I stop producing cloth and start importing it from country B, can I increase the production of wheat? Can I increase the production of wheat? Yes. Now tell, if I produce cloth, how many units I am able to produce? 4. If I stop production of cloth and start increasing production, how many units I am able to produce of wheat? 6 units. Tell me, am I having a clear advantage in wheat or not? So can I say better, rather than wasting time in producing cloth in my country, better what will I do? I will take cloth from you and I will get wheat to you. Correct or not? Is it possible? I will take cloth from country B, I will export wheat to country B. Correct or not? In the same way, let us take country B. Country B. Now, country B में where is absolute advantage? Wheat or cloth? Absolute advantage is wheat or cloth? Cloth. And where is absolute disadvantage? Where is absolute disadvantage? In wheat, right? Now tell, which product country B should export to country A? Which product country B should export to country A? Is it cloth or wheat? Cloth. And what it should import from country A? Wheat. So I'll write something like this. Better country B export cloth to country A and import what, sir? What to import? Wheat from country A. Clear? Now tell, there are many things to be learned here. Some practical figures we will take and understand this tomorrow. As of now, just tell me. As of now, let us revise. According to Adam Smith, see here, is one country having a complete advantage or both the countries are having advantage? According to Adam Smith, both the countries are having advantage also, both the countries are having disadvantage also. One country is exporting something, importing something else. Second country is also importing something, exporting something. So imports and exports are happening from both the countries. Now tell, should I import something? Now tell, what should I import? I should import something where I'm having an absolute disadvantage or absolute advantage. Now again, let us see once again in a different way. I'm having absolute advantage. Absolute advantage. What should I do? Export or import? Absolute advantage. Export. And if I'm having absolute disadvantage, what should I do? Import. Now, how? Now, till now, I hope it is clear. Till now, I hope it is clear. Tomorrow, we will see the same dabba. We will see this diagram. We'll see and understand how is country A getting an advantage over country B in wheat, and how country B is getting an advantage over cloth, and what is it exactly that advantage what they are getting, that we will see tomorrow. That analysis we'll see tomorrow. As of now, this much I think it should be clear for you. Anyone having any doubts as of now? I hope it is clear. So tomorrow we will see how country A is at an advantage and how country B is at an absolute advantage in wheat and cloth respectively. Clear? So let us close our class now, and balance we will continue in tomorrow's class, and your EIS class will start from 11:30. Clear? Bye everyone. Till now we have studied that according to Adam Smith theory of comparative advantage, by what will happen, I will import something in which I am having a absolute disadvantage and I will export something in which I am having an absolute advantage. Now let us see how it will advantage. Now let us say, for example, country A will give how many units of wheat? Country A will give how many units of wheat to country B? Can you tell? Country A will give how many units of wheat to country B? 6 units. And when I'm giving 6 units of wheat, I'm giving 6 units of wheat to whom? I'm giving 6 units of wheat to these people. Country B. Now how many units of cloth I will take from you then? How many units of cloth I'll take? 6 units only, right? When I'm giving you 6 units of wheat, then why will I take 5 units of cloth? So country A, see here, country A will give 6 units of wheat, right? 6 units of wheat. And what will it do? Country A will take 6 units of cloth, right? I am giving you 6 units of wheat, then why will I take 5 units of cloth? I will also take 6 units only, right? Clear? I will ask you to give me 6 units of cloth. In that case, tell me if country A produces cloth, tell me how many units it can produce in 1 hour. How many units? If it produces by itself rather than trade, how many units it can produce? 4 units, right? If country A can produce cloth, how many units? 4 units in 1 hour. 4 units in 1 hour, right? Now tell me, in case if I am trading, if imported from country B, how many units I am getting? 6 units, right? 6 units. So how many additional units I am getting? How many additional units I am getting from country B? How many additional units I am getting from country B? 2 units, right? 2 units. Now tell me, to manufacture 4 units, it is taking 1 hour. It is taking 1 hour. So to manufacture 2 units, how many minutes it will take? 30 minutes, correct or not? 4 units के लिए it is taking 1 hour. Correct or not? 4 units के लिए it is taking 1 hour. So for 2 units, how many minutes? 30 minutes, right? Half an hour. So am I saving 30 minutes? Am I saving 30 minutes or not? Am I saving 30 minutes or not? If I manufacture by myself, I will be able to manufacture only 4 units. But since I am giving 6 units of wheat to you, I am getting 6 units of cloth from you. So how many additional units I am getting? 2. To produce 4 units, I have to spend 1 hour. So for producing 2 units, how many minutes? 30 minutes, right? Half an hour. So am I saving half an hour of my time or not? Am I saving half an hour of my time or not? Country A. So can I spend that half an hour to produce 3 more units of wheat? Correct or not? Can I spend the same 30 minutes? Can I utilize the same 30 minutes to produce 3 units of wheat and export more, benefit more? Now tell, is it beneficial to country A or not? Is this beneficial to country A or not? I am saving 30 minutes. I am getting 2 additional units. Whatever time I am saving, I can use to produce more number of wheat. Correct or not? So I can write here the time saved by country A. The time saved by country A can be used to produce how many units? Sir, 1 hour में I am able to produce 6 units of wheat. 1 hour में I am able to produce 6 units of wheat. Now tell, in 30 minutes, how many I can produce then? 3 units, right? I can produce 3 units. So the time saved by country A can be used to produce 3 units of what? 3 units of wheat. Yeah, class is getting recorded, don't worry. Clear? Class is getting recorded every day. Now, the same thing happens with country B also. Should we analyze in country B also? Now, once let us analyze. Now tell. Country B mein what is happening? Let us understand the same thing in country B's point of view also. Country B mein also, tell me how many units of cloth I am giving? How many units of cloth I'm giving? Country B is giving what? Country A, country B will give how many units of cloth? 6 units of cloth, right? Country B will give 6 units of cloth and what it will get? And get country B will get 6 units of clear wheat. Now tell how much time if country B produces wheat, if country B imports wheat. Now tell if I produce wheat in 1 hour, how much I am able to produce wheat? In 1 hour, how many units of wheat I am able to produce? Only one, right? Only one. But how many units of wheat I am getting? 6 units of wheat I am getting from import. How many units I am able to, additional units I am able to get? How many additional units I am able to get? 5, right? To produce 5 units, how many hours are required? To produce 5 units, how many hours are required? 5 hours. So can I say country B is saving how many hours? Country B is saving 5 hours. 5 hours mein I can manufacture how many units? So many units I can manufacture of cloth to export, right? 25. 1 hour mein 5 units if I am able to manufacture, I can manufacture and export 25 units of wheat, correct or not? Now tell, is it an advantage to both the countries now? Is it an advantage to both the countries? Is it an advantage to both the countries? But now problem here is, first theory mein what happened? Theory of absolute advantage tells that, clear? Theory of absolute advantage clearly tells that trade can happen only when both are at an advantage. I am at an advantage and disadvantage. You are also at an advantage and disadvantage. I should have an advantage in one product. You should also have advantage in one product. Then only trade can happen. Correct or not? Then only trade can happen. But there might be situation where, in both the cases, I am only at an absolute advantage. I repeat, there can be situations where I am at an absolute advantage in both the cases. In that point of time, you think theory of absolute advantage will be correct? It tells that you should also be at an advantage. I should also be at an advantage. You should also have a disadvantage. I should also have a disadvantage. Then only we can trade with each other. But take a situation where there are 2 products. In both the products, I am only at a disadvantage. In both the products, you are only at a disadvantage. Will Adam-Smith theory prove correct or wrong? Mercantilist is different. Then Mercantilist tells that you should not have any advantage. Like only one product is there. Only one product is there. We are trading only in one product. Multiple products may absolute advantage will come. Mercantilist, forget about mercantilist. That is a completely different one. Now tell, in both the cases, I am only at a disadvantage. Will trade happen? Yes. That is called theory of comparative advantage. Theory of comparative advantage. Clear? No. Theory of comparative advantage. Till now, in Adam-Smith advantage theory mein what happened? There he clearly told us that trade will happen only when I am at an absolute advantage in one product, absolute disadvantage in one product. You are also at an absolute advantage in one product, absolute disadvantage in one more product. But what happens when in both the cases I am at an absolute advantage and in both the cases you are also at an absolute disadvantage? In that case also trade can happen. And that theory is called what? So that theory is called as theory of comparative advantage. Clear? Theory of comparative advantage. And this theory was given by David Ricardo. Clear? This theory was given by whom? David Ricardo. In which year? In 1817. In his book, in his book, what is his book? Principles. Clear? Principles of political economy. Political economy and taxation. Clear? So who gave this theory? This theory was given by whom? David Ricardo. In which year? 1817. In which book? The Principles of Political Economy and Taxation. Now let us see, according to this person, what will happen. What we'll do? Same thing again. We'll take a diagram now. We'll take output per hour. Output per hour. And we'll take here commodity, country A and country B. Clear? Country A and country B. Now wheat is there, same, and we have cloth. Now your country A is producing wheat. I repeat, country A is producing wheat in how many hours? 1 hour में 6 units, and country B is able to produce only 1 unit in 1 hour. Now cloth में country A is able to produce 4 units of cloth, and how many units country B is able to produce? 2. Now tell. This is a different diagram, right? This is a different one again, because if I take 5 here, this theory will be wrong completely. Now tell, who is having an absolute advantage? Who is having an absolute advantage in case of wheat? Which country is having an absolute advantage in wheat? Country A. Country A is having an absolute advantage. Now who is having an absolute advantage in cloth also? Tell me. In cloth also, who is having an absolute advantage? Country A, right? No. So in simple words, is country A having complete, or you can say absolute advantage? Is country A having absolute advantage in both wheat and cloth? Wheat and cloth? Yes or no? Yes. Next, is country B, clear? Country B having, is country B having absolute disadvantage in both wheat and cloth? Yes or no? Is country B is having an absolute disadvantage? Yes or no? Yes. Can trade happen? Can trade happen? Can trade happen? In this situation, can international trade happen? Yes, it can happen. And who told us that it can happen? David Ricardo told us that in this situation also international trade can happen. That is why it is called as what? Theory of comparative advantage. Now in this case, what to do? How to trade? How to trade? Now see from country B's point of view. Clear? Don't see from country A's point of view now. Go reverse. Now tell me, country A में country B is having how much disadvantage in wheat? 5 units, right? Country B is having disadvantage of 5 units in wheat, correct or not? And country B is having 2 units of disadvantage in case of cloth, correct or not? Now tell, in which case it is having the least disadvantage? I know in both the cases disadvantage is there. In which case it is having the least disadvantage? Cloth. So it says, so how to trade? It says, clear? Now let us see. Clear? Now let us see. Product in which, clear, product in which country is having least disadvantage. Clear? Product in which country is having least disadvantage. What to do? Import or export? If I produce cloth, I will have lesser losses than compared to production of wheat. Now tell. I hope in NPV you might have studied, right? NPV. If NPV of a project is positive, I will select. If one is positive, one is negative, I will select. If both are negative, I will select a project where it is more negative or less negative. Least negative, right? Here also I am selecting that product in which I am having lesser losses than compared to more loss, right? So product in which country is having least disadvantage, produce and export. Clear? And product in which country is having most disadvantage. Clear? Most disadvantage. What to do? Don't produce, import. Import. Khatam. Don't produce. Why? I'm having the most disadvantage, right? Don't import. Understood? Now, in this case, tell me what will country B produce and export? What will country B produce and export? In this case, see this table and tell. Country B will produce cloth because its disadvantage is lesser and export. And what will it import from A? Wheat. Khatam. So can we write like this? In the given case, in the above table, country B will produce, clear, country B will produce and export. Country B will produce and export what? Country B will produce and export cloth as it is having lesser disadvantage. Clear? Now, and will import what? Wheat as its absolute disadvantage is higher. Clear? Is higher. Correct or not? Is higher. Clear? Simple logic. Any doubts in this theory? Small theory, simple theory, theory of comparative advantage, right? No. Till now problem here was clear? Till now, what are we taking into consideration? Production, right? Till now, remember one thing. First three theories basically focused on what? Now, see here, listen very carefully. First theory what we studied was Mercantilist theory, clear? First theory what we studied was Mercantilist theory. Sir, Mercantilist theory focuses on labor production, right? Sir, here there is any assumption that trade is happening at barter system? No. Why barter system? Barter system is already eliminated long back in 1970s, 1870s only you have cash, right? Barter system was long back eliminated. Barter system mein there is no trade only. Okay, there is no barter system. This is just an example of how trade can happen. When I am giving, see, I am exporting cloth to you and I am importing wheat from you. It doesn't mean that we are exchanging these two items. Once I export cloth to you, I will take money for that. And once I import wheat from you, I will pay you money for that. That differences will not do like that. That's not a barter system. Clear? That is completely wrong. Don't assume that it is a barter system. Like India imports mobile phones and exports spices to China. Does it mean that India is not paying anything to China? China is not paying anything to India? No. We are only talking about what to import, what to export, nothing else. I'm not exchanging these goods, right? I repeat, this is not exchange of goods. This is we are deciding what to import, what to export. Clear? At the end of the day, we'll take money from each other. I hope your doubt is cleared. Country A have absolute advantage but on both. But why it will import? But why will it import? To support the other country, right? To support the other country. All countries are members of WTO or not? All countries are members of WTO or not? If I only tell me which country will, now let us take an example here. Let us say, for example, here country A is there. Country A will clearly tell you, I am not going to buy anything from you. You buy from me. Will you listen? Simple question. Country A is telling to country B that I will only buy from, I will only sell to you, I will not buy anything to you, I will only export, I will not buy anything from you. Will it listen country B? You think in that case country B will be interested in having a trade with country A? It will produce, let it be, leave country A. It will produce at higher cost, it will sell at higher cost. What is there in that? When people have no other option, they will be ready to pay extra money also, right? So that is why to have international trade, imports and exports are very important. So I am not telling it will not produce cloth. I am not telling that country A will not produce cloth. It will produce, but little. Let us say rather than producing 100%, it will produce 90%. So 10% cloth it will import from home country B to support country B, like that. Clear? I am not asking you to completely stop here also. Here also, country B will not completely stop. Country A will not completely stop in one product. Little quantity it will manufacture, little quantity it will import. Let us say India. Does India import? In India, foreign clothes are available or not? In India, foreign clothes are available or not? Foreign clothes, foreign brands are available or not? Does it mean that India is not manufacturing cloth in India? No, right? India will also manufacture, India will also import. Manufacture will be 90%, import will be 10%. Why? Just to support the other countries. Clear? So international trade is to support the other countries. Remember, I told you because WTO will not allow you to exploit the other country, right? It will not allow. And there was one more theory called opportunity cost theory, which I have given in my material. I think it's there in my book, and that theory has been deleted from our syllabus. For which attempt? From November attempt. Let me just download once. Where is it? Yeah, these are theories of international trade. So we studied what is international trade. We studied arguments in support of international trade. We have studied arguments against the international trade, that is trade openness. We studied important theories of international trade. We studied mercantilist theory. We studied absolute advantage by Adam Smith with table and all I explained. Theory of comparative advantage just now done. Now, this theory is deleted from our syllabus now. Opportunity cost theory is not there in our syllabus from November 2020 attempt. Clear? Now, after this, we have directly Hexaolum theory of trade. Clear? Which trade? Hexaolum theory of trade. This theory has been deleted from our syllabus now. Clear? Opportunity cost theory is not there. Now, anyone has any other doubt to ask? Anyone has any other doubt to ask? No. So let us continue. So point number one, tell me, when I'm talking about country A is giving wheat, country B is giving cloth, does it mean that that is a barter system exchange? Yes or no? Is it a barter system? No. We are only deciding what should I import, what should I export. I'm only deciding what should I import, what should I export. If country B is exporting cloth to country A, in return it will not give me wheat, right? In return it will not give me wheat, it will give me money. And when I am importing wheat from other country, I will not give cloth, I will give what? Money. Clear? Next, point number two, even though I am having an absolute advantage in both the cases, but still I am importing from country B. Why? Am I importing 100% or only little, maybe 10-15%? Am I importing everything? No, little quantity I am importing. Why? To support the other country in international trade. Number three, clear? Number three, am I, in any of the cases till now, three cases we have seen. In all the cases, will I stop my production? No, I will not stop my production. I will produce lesser. But I will produce. In all the cases, I will not stop production because, simple question, If I stop production, let us say for example here I told absolute advantage mein what did I tell? Country A what it will do? It will export wheat, and it will import cloth. Does it mean that I will completely stop producing cloth in my country? No. I will produce in my country also, I will import also. Why? Even though I'm having a disadvantage, still I'm producing in my country. Why? Because if I stop production of cloth, simple logic. If I stop production of cloth in my country and I become completely dependent on the other country, what will happen? Everything will be imported. When import increases, import demand increases, price also increases, customs duty also increases. Automatically inflation will happen or not? Inflation will happen or not? Yes. And what about domestic producers? Domestic business will become zero, right? I'm completely dependent on the other country. That will be completely wrong. So little I should also produce, I should import also. Both should happen. Even though I'm having a disadvantage, no problem. Produce. Losses, incur losses, no problem. But don't depend completely on the other country. Otherwise, it will be a big issue for us. No. So till now, we have seen three theories, right? Theory number one was what? So till now we have seen three theories. One is mercantilist, comparative advantage, absolute advantage. Mercantilist theory focuses on what? Labor production. Clear? Labor production. Then we have seen absolute advantage theory, right? This also focuses on labor. Clear? Labor production. And then we have also seen comparative advantage. This also focuses on what? This also focuses on labor. Now tell, can the goods be produced only by labor, or machinery is also there now? So tell me, all the countries in the world are only labor intensive, or they are capital intensive also? There are labor intensive countries also, there are capital intensive countries are also there. But tell me, all the three theories what you have studied till now, they focus only on what? They focus on capital or labor or both, or only on labor? They focus only on labor. The most important part, that is capital, they ignored. Now tell, are these three theories as of today practically possible? Practically possible these theories? No, right? Why? Because today some countries are labor intensive like India, and some countries are capital intensive like US and Japan. Then who will take this capital into consideration? So now this theory tells us, the new theory, that is clear, the new theory, Hexaolum theory, will tell us that take labor also into consideration, take capital also into consideration, and then decide international trade. Otherwise, don't decide. Clear? So let us start with next theory, that is Hexaolum theory. Hexaolum, Hexaolum theory of trade. Theory of trade. Clear? Theory of trade. Name itself tells you. Can you tell me who has propounded or given this theory? Tell me who has given this theory. Name itself tells you. There are two people who have given this theory. This theory was given by whom? Heckscher and Olin. Simple. Eli Heckscher. Heckscher. Heckscher and Bertie, Berti, Ohlin. This Bertie Olin was student of this person. Clear? This was student here. So these people together have given this theory. Who are those? These people are Eli Heckscher and Bertie Olin. Bertie Olin was a student of whom? Eli Heckscher. Clear? Now, this is also called as, remember one thing, this is also called as, clear? This is what, so this theory is also called as factor endowment theory, right? Factor endowment theory. Which theory, sir? Factor endowment theory. Clear? Factor endowment theory. Sir, factor endowment means what? Factor endowment means what? Factor endowment means labor plus capital. Labor plus capital. Till now, only labor was taken into consideration. In this theory, we have to consider labor also. We have to consider capital also. Then decide international trade. So, factor endowment means what? Labor plus capital. That is why it is called as factor endowment theory. Clear? Next, it is also called as modern theory of trade. Modern theory of trade. Clear? Modern theory of trade. It is also called as Hexer Olin, clear? Hexer Olin Samuelson theory. Samuelson theory. Have you heard about Paul A. Samuelson? Have you heard about Paul A. Samuelson? So they have also taken some inputs from that person's theory. That is why it is also called as what? It is also called as Hexer Olin Samuelson theory. So these are the three names. Question may come on any name. They may ask you Hexer Olin theory. They may ask you factor endowment theory. They may ask you modern theory of trade. They may ask you Hexer Olin Samuelson theory. In all the cases, your answer should remain what? Your answer should remain same. Clear? Clear? Now, tell me, factor endowments in every country are same or different? Factor endowments, factor endowments, factor endowments in every country. I'll write something, you tell whether it is same or clear, true or false. Every country are different, correct or not? Factor endowments in every country are different. It means what? What do we mean by this? Just one second. Just one second. Factor endowment, I think Kirti madam, I've already told you what is factor endowment. Factor endowment is nothing but labor and capital, right? Factor endowment is nothing but labor and capital. Clear? No. So factor endowments in every country are same or different? Different. It means what? Now tell me, in India, labor is cheap or capital is cheap? In India, labor is cheap or capital is cheap? Labor is cheap and capital is expensive or not? Is capital expensive or not in India? Yes. Now talk about US. In US, capital is cheap or expensive? In US, capital is cheap? Yes. And is labor expensive there? Yes. Simple. So in every country, factor endowments will be different. So in another words, if I want to put factor endowments, clear? In technical terms, if I want to put factor endowments, how do we know? Factor endowments is nothing but overall availability. Clear? Overall availability of what? Overall availability of usable resources. Usable resources. Usable resources. Clear? Usable resources. It means what? Nothing but usable resources are what? Labor and capital. Correct? Now, point number B. Now tell me, uh, what will India import? Tell me some examples of what India imports. Can I say like this? Countries exports and imports. Can I say something like this? Countries exports and imports depend upon what? Depend upon factor endowments. Factor endowments. Can I say something like this? Now let us say, for example, let us download two countries ka flag, India and US, right? Indian flag and US flag. Coming back here. No. Now tell, India is a labor intensive country or capital intensive country? Simple example. India is a labor intensive or capital intensive? Labor intensive, right? It's a labor intensive country. Next, one more example we'll take, as I already told you, US. Tell me, US is labor intensive or capital intensive? It is capital intensive. Clear? So India is labor intensive country and US is capital intensive country. Now tell me, India mein labor is cheap or capital is cheap? In India, labor is cheap or capital is cheap? Sir, in India, labor is cheap and capital is expensive. Simple. That is why we import capital, right? That is why we import capital. And in US, what is cheap? Capital, clear, capital is cheap and labor is expensive. Labor is expensive, correct or not? Why? Because US may softwares are there, so many machineries are very cheap there, but what is expensive? Labor. Now tell, salary in India will be high or US will be high? US will be high. Why? Because their labor is scarce. That is why labor ko salaries will be high. In India, capital is scarce, capital ko price will be high. Now tell me, India should produce what? Should India focus more on labor intensive products or capital intensive products? Should India focus on labor intensive products or capital intensive products? Focus more where? It should focus more where? India should focus more where? Capital intensive or labor intensive? Obviously labor intensive, right? So what will happen here? Here what will I do? Labor is cheap, right? So focus more on labor products. Focus more on labor intensive products. Or I can say, right, something like this. So rather than writing like this, can I say labor is cheap, right? So produce labor intensive goods, right? And export labor intensive goods. Produce and export labor intensive goods, right? Clear? Labor intensive goods. And can I say capital intensive? May import more. I'm not asking you to stop capital. I am not asking you to stop capital intensive goods. Produce less of that and import. Why? I can import at a cheaper price from US or not? Correct or not? Can I import at a cheaper price? Yes. Now tell, what should US do? Capital intensive techniques are cheap, right? So can I say export, produce and export? US should, what it should do? It should produce and export capital intensive goods. Capital intensive goods. And what about labor? Import, right? Import. Correct. I hope you understood. So can I say like this? A country where labor is cheap should produce and export labor intensive goods. True or false? At a country where labor is cheap should export and produce more of labor intensive goods. Correct or not? Yes or no? And should import capital intensive goods. Correct. Next. A country where capital intensive goods are cheap should focus more on that, produce more and export. True or false? But it should focus less on imports, and majorly import should be what? Import should be labor intensive goods. So overall, over a period of time, what will happen when I am importing over a period of time? Tell me, let us say 5, 6, 10 years. I am importing more of capital intensive goods. Supply of capital intensive goods in India will increase or decrease? I am importing capital intensive goods continuously from multiple countries. Supply will increase or decrease? Supply will increase. When supply increases, capital will become expensive or inexpensive in India? Supply is increasing. Sir, when supply is more, automatically prices will come down. So what happens? Labor intensive and capital intensive goods ka price either will become same or very little difference will be there. In the same way, India is exporting labor intensive goods to US and other countries are also exporting labor intensive goods to US. Over a period of time, labor intensive goods in US will become cheap or expensive? It will become cheap. So capital goods will also become cheap and labor goods will also become cheap. At the end of the day, this difference between factor endowments will become high or will become less. That difference, as of today, the difference between India and US is very high, right? Over a period of time, the difference between factor endowments will reduce and it will become nil. India may labor is already cheap, future may capital will become cheap. US may today labor is expensive, capital is cheap. Future over a period of time, what may happen? Capital and labor may also become both cheap. Then what happens? Factor endowments will be very high or very less. Factor endowments ka difference will be very less. So understood this theory. What is this theory trying to tell? Clear? So it is trying to tell that don't take only labor into consideration. Take labor also. Take what? Take capital also into consideration. So can I write something like this conclusion? We'll write the conclusion, LC. You will write conclusion. We will write conclusion something like this. Now, countries, if a country, clear? If a country, clear? If a country is a capital abundant, if country is capital abundant, if a country is capital abundant, clear? It will produce, clear? It will produce and export what? Capital intensive goods, capital intensive goods, capital intensive goods more cheaply than other country, correct or not? Can US produce capital intensive goods at a much more cheaper price than compared to India? Can US produce capital goods at a much more cheaper price than what can be produced in India? Yes. Likewise, likewise, it means in the same way, a labor abundant country, likewise, a labor abundant country, what it will do? What will labor abundant country will do? It will produce what? A labor abundant country will produce and export, clear? And export labor intensive goods, more cheaply, clear? More cheaply than the other country, correct or not? Is this correct or not? What I have written is correct or not? Clear? Now, then last theory what we have? The last theory what we have is new trade theory. Clear? Last theory what we have is new trade theory. Clear? New trade theory. Clear? Last theory what we have is new trade theory. So new trade theory was given in 1970s. Listen very carefully. In which year? 1970s. Did I tell 1970 or 1970s? 1970s. We don't know the year. It might be 1971, 1972, 1979, 1975, anything. So new trade theory was given when? In 1970s. In 1970s. But who has given? We don't know. Clear? So new trade theory was given in which year? 1970s. Long back. Clear? Now, what is new trade theory? So new trade theory means a country can get advantage. A country can get, clear? A country can get what? Clear? A country can get advantage. Clear? Advantage in international trade. In international trade, clear, international trade depending upon two things, like a country can get advantage in international trade based on two things, right? Based on two things. Sir, first one is economies of scale. First one is economies of scale. Clear? Economies of scale. And sir, second one we have is network effect. Network effect. Clear? Network effect. Clear? So I can get an advantage in international trade based on two things. One is economies of scale and second one is network effect. Sir, what do we mean by economies of scale? What do we mean by economies of scale? Let us say, for example, in India, 100 units are required. Clear? 100 units are required to be produced only for India at a cost of rupees 10. Now, if I'm good at that product, if I can export that product, will I produce only units required in India or will I produce additional units? Tell me. If I want to export these goods, will I produce the same units or additional units? Additional units. Now say, I produce 250 units. The cost of production will remain same or cost of production will come down? When number of units increases, cost of production will increase or decrease? Cost of production will decrease. This is called what? This is called as economies of scale. This is called what? Economies of scale. So what do we mean by economies of scale? Sir, economies of scale is nothing but when the production increases, the cost per unit decreases. I think same thing you might have learned in costing also, right? So can I say like this? We'll write something like this. As clear as a firm produces, clear, as a firm produces more of a product, clear, as a firm produces more of a product, what will happen? Its cost per unit, its cost per unit decreases, or you can say keeps going down. Keeps going down. Correct or not? Correct or not? As the firm produces more of a product, its cost per unit keeps going down. Is it true or false? Correct. So can I say also like this? Can I also say like this? If a firm serves domestic as well as clear, if a firm serves domestic as well as foreign markets, clear, foreign markets, instead of only one, it can benefit. It can benefit from what? It can benefit from economies of scale. Economies of scale, right? Only in India. How much will I produce only in India? How much I will keep producing only in India? I can't produce, right? Up to a certain level. After that, I can't produce it. But if I am producing for me also, producing for others also, production will increase, cost per product will decrease. Clear? Cost per unit will decrease. Next, network effect. So this is also called as bandwagon effect. Also called as bandwagon effect. Clear? Bandwagon effect. Clear? Bandwagon effect. Sir, but what do we mean by bandwagon effect? Bandwagon effect. Let us say my product is used by two people. Clear? My product is used by two people. Value is less. My product is used by 10 people. Value will increase or not? My business value will increase or not? Then my product is used by 1 lakh people. Then it is used by 2 lakh people. Can I say like this? When the number of user of my product increases, when the number of users of my product increases, the value of my product or service will also increase. Correct or not? The more number of people use my product, the higher will be the value. Let us say, for example, Micromax. How many people are using Micromax in my class? In my class, how many people are using Micromax? Anyone using? Anyone using Micromax from my class? No one, right? So what is the value? Value, there is no value. Now let us say tomorrow all the students in your class start using Micromax. What will happen? The value of Micromax will increase. The value of Micromax will increase. Clear? So can I say something like this? The value, clear, the value of a product or service, clear, the value of product or service is enhanced or increased, clear, enhanced or increased as the number of individuals, as the number of individuals, as the number of individuals using it increases. Clear? So number of people using my product or service increases, automatically my value increases. Clear? Anyone has any doubts in any of the theories? Let us revise once. Tell me which theory was the first theory given even before, which theory was given even before Adam Smith giving his own theory? This theory was given even before Adam Smith giving his theory. Mercantilist theory. Now tell, according to Mercantilist theory, international trade is a zero-sum game, right? Zero-sum game means what? Zero-sum game means what? I am at a complete advantage, you are at a complete disadvantage. Then only I will have trade. Then only I will have trade. Otherwise, I will not have. And that too, when I am trading with you, am I taking money from you or am I taking precious metals from you? Precious metals. Now, theory, some people might get confused. Sir, in mercantilist also, the same theory you taught, same thing you taught, without example, like without that table, and same thing I taught in comparative advantage with table, correct or not? So when you go here, comparative theory mein, you take the same table you can apply for mercantilist also. Comparative advantage mein also I told you the same thing. In both the cases, A is at a disadvantage. In both the cases, B is at a disadvantage. Same concept we have studied in mercantilist also, right? Then what is the difference? In mercantilist theory, I am extracting and removing what? Your precious metals. Here, do I take your precious metals? No, I'll take cash from you. I'll take cash from you, right? And there is no import or minimum import. Here, import is also there, export is also there. Here I am importing also. Difference number one, there I am taking mercantilist mein I am taking what? I am taking all your precious materials, precious metals, and I am making you financially weak. I am completely exploiting you. In this case, am I exploiting you? No. There I am taking precious metals, here I am taking cash. There is no import or very minimum import. And here import is also there, export is also there. Clear? Now, which theory was given by Adam Smith? Which theory was given by Adam Smith? Which theory was given by Adam Smith? Absolute advantage. In absolute advantage, what will happen? In both the cases, I will only be an advantage, or both will have an advantage and disadvantage. Both will have an advantage also, both will have a disadvantage also. I will import what? Where I am having advantage or where I am having disadvantage? Where I am having advantage or where I am having disadvantage? Disadvantage. I will export what? Clear? Next, in case of comparative advantage, I will import where I am having more disadvantage or less disadvantage. I will import what? Where I am having more disadvantage or lesser disadvantage? More disadvantage. I will export what? I will export what? Where I am having more disadvantage or less disadvantage? Less disadvantage. Now, which theory told you to take into consideration labor also, capital also? Labor also I should take, capital also I should take. Which theory? Hexaolum theory. Now tell, Hexaolum theory में what will, now every country will be, now tell, every country will have advantage in both capital and labor? No. One country may have in labor, one country may have in capital. Tell me one country which is having an advantage in labor also, capital also. Not possible. It's not possible. Every country may either capital is advantage or labor is advantage. If labor and capital both are advantage, why will I import? I will export only, right? So according to these people, capital intensive countries should produce more of capital goods and less of labor goods. Capital goods means software, hardware, machinery, mobile phones, laptops, computers, etc. etc. Labor intensive means khadi, clear, spices, agriculture. These will be more clear now. And in case if I'm labor intensive country like India, I will import what? I will import capital intensive goods. I will export labor intensive goods. US, it's a capital intensive country. It will export capital intensive goods and import labor intensive goods. At the end of the day, in future, over a period of time, I'm not talking about today, over a period of time, India make capital goods will become cheap or inexpensive. It will become cheap. In US, over a period of time, not now, what will become cheap? Labor. So both will become labor and capital intensive or not. The disadvantage what I was having will convert into advantage. And finally we have what? Finally we have new trade theory. New trade theory was given in 1970 or 1970s. It was given in 1970s. Who has given? We have no idea, right? We have no idea. But according to these countries, you can have international trade only when you are having an advantage. How? Economies of scale and network effect. If I am able to produce more quantity at lesser price, advantage. And if more number of people are using my product, obviously my value will increase. Tell me, MI sells only its products in China or throughout the world? Throughout the world. It is producing more quantity at lesser price. Sir, 5,000, 6,000 may also their products are available. Tell me which is the most used mobile phone in India? MI. Now tell, number of people using increases, its value increases or not? Yes. In 2014, MI came to India in 2014 with no tension only. It never thought it will be so successful. By 2017, complete market was captured by MI. This is called what? This is called as network effect. Clear? This is called as network effect, right? This is called as network effect. So this also we have seen. Network effect, new trade theory also we have seen. Here question number format it is not there. That is why I'm telling you this concept by concept I'm telling you. Clear? And these differences I've already explained you orally. Just go through once. Need not remember. Not that important. I've already explained you. Comparative may or modern theory. Modern theory means what? Modern theory means what? What is the other name for modern theory? What is the other name for modern theory? Hexaolum theory, right? So that is what I told you. Comparative cost, factor endowments, labor and money cost. Money cost means labor plus capital. Only labor is there, labor and capital is there. Theory treats quite. So almost everything I have explained you, just go through once. Clear? Now, with this we completed what? With this we completed which chapter? Theories of international trade. So tomorrow what we can do? We will start with money demand and money supply chapter. Clear? Money demand chapter. Sir, compulsory practical question is mandatory either from money demand or money supply. Money demand mein they will give you case law. Money supply mein they will give you practical question. Compulsory question in exam. So please don't miss class tomorrow. I think students are very less today. Exams have started, I think, right? Degree exams today. Degree exams have started today because some students message me that they are going for exam. Is it true? Am I audible? Degree exam started today. Oh, based on university. Okay. So then we'll close our class for today and tomorrow we'll start with money demand. Clear? Don't miss the class tomorrow. Otherwise, 6 marks gone in exam. Bye everyone.